Hello, everybody. I'm sorry that I'm late. I was sure that my post said 5:30, but apparently it said 5. I was just seeing how many of you were paying attention, and apparently not a lot, because nobody's here waiting for me, unless you all got tired waiting and left. That could also be what's going on. Anyways, apparently I'm talking to no one. Okay, now there's 3 of you watching, so hello, everybody. I'm sorry that I'm late, guys. I was sure that my post said I would be on at 5:30 my time, and yeah, I guess I forgot. So yeah, that's what happens when you are tired. I'm really tired today. Actually, I've not got a lot of sleep the last few nights, so I wasn't sure if I was even gonna have wine, because I was like, could end up turning into like Red Riders Live nap time if I drink a glass of wine with how tired I am. But I'm having wine anyways, because I've also just been looking forward to a glass of wine today. And I'm not one of those people who says it's 5 o'clock somewhere, so I normally wait until at least after 3 o'clock before I drink anything. So yeah. So hello, everybody. Joseph, Smoke Shop, Serenity Kitty, Mark. Been watching for you and shopping for parts. Thanks, Mark. You've been waiting. I know I'm late. I'm sorry for being late, everybody. Yeah. But anyways, here I am now. I'm doing good. I'm just tired. Newest bike turned 26, so I guess you prefer the old. Yeah. You're tired as well. Oh, hello. Well, thanks for stopping in Smoke Shop. Hello, Chip. I think you were not here in the last live, Chip. Hello, Richard. Yeah, so don't forget to turn on live chat, everybody. I always forget to turn on live chat, and then I just have top chat on. So hello, Eagle Keeper, that guy. Oh, you were talking about your, hello, Paul. So I was, what made me think about newer bikes, my computer screen, I feel like could be, like, I feel like everyone could stand to see some pictures of my bike flash by on the screen. If it's not the best though, but whatever. Yeah. Anyways, yeah, guys, so I was up at the Harley dealership yesterday looking at, there we go. It's a little bit better there. Looking at a couple of like the newer models. I'm not super into like, oh, don't wreck your screen, Angel. I'm not like super into new bikes, as you all know, but I went up there just to look at some of the 2026 models because I was bored. So anyways, it got me wondering, hello, Jerry / Jerry. It got me just wondering, like, how many people watch my channel actually are into like any new bike, not just Harley, but like just like new bikes coming out. So yeah, it kind of had me curious, actually. So I did start early, actually. Zeus, I was supposed to come on at 6 p.m. tonight, so I'm half an hour early. Thank you all for showing up early with me. So yeah, anyways, I was up there. I took a little bit of video while I was up there. There was a couple new bikes on the floor. And yeah, and then I was just like, I always, like, I see the new bikes and I'm like, okay, like, I don't really see huge differences, except for when they came out with the Road Glide, and the Road Glide had like the way bigger screen on it. But I don't keep up on the new bikes. I don't know if I should or whatever, but I was just curious, like, how many people who actually watch my channel are into like the new bikes and would go out and like buy a new bike or look for like, you know, something that was just like a couple years old or something like that. You know, how many of you are super into that stuff? I like the old stuff mostly because I'm not really into spending like $40,000, $50,000, $60,000 on a motorcycle that can do the same, well, like most of the same stuff that like a, you know, $10,000 motorcycle could do. So, and I also, like, I like the older bikes for multiple reasons. I don't want to spend that much money on a bike. First of all, if I had that much money to spend on a bike, would I? I can't really say that I would because, like, I don't know, like, I guess I still don't think I would buy something brand new off the showroom floor. I feel like I would still go for something a little cheaper. And, if I could get something new, if I had the money to get something new, and that I just didn't have to worry about for a while, that I could just ride. Yeah, I can't say that I wouldn't do that because it would be cool just to like have something that was totally set up for road trips and, you know, that I could just hop on and like ride across the continent. That would be cool. So yeah, Zeus, get your poop together and start using the links I post out. Yeah, so I like, I'm not against like new bikes or anything. I just think that, I don't know, like it's like old cars. Like old cars, they have so much character now. Like when you look at them, obviously, like in a parking lot full of cars nowadays, if there's something like from the 80s, depending on what it is, like, but it, you know, they're gonna stand out more. So I guess I just don't really see like a whole lot of special in the new stuff. Like, mind you, like they can be fun for sure. Like, but well, I'm not getting any bike. So I do appreciate, like, I can still appreciate the new bikes, and I've ridden a few new bikes myself. The thing that is weird to me, I mean, I guess it would be nice on a long road trip, but it's weird that they're so smooth to ride, like, and they're so quiet. And of course you can make them louder. They're really smooth to ride, like, because they're like, I'm just used to, like, my Dyna is pretty smooth to ride too, but it still is more, vibrates way more, shakes way more than like a brand new Harley does. They have a teal paint this year. Oh, I didn't notice that. I saw they have a denim blue. They've got like a blood red. They've got like a blood orange. And then they have like the billiard gray, which they always have billiard gray, and black, of course. Yeah, the older the better. The older the better. Like, I think like the thing I like the most about the older bikes is just because I like working on my own bikes. So maybe if I wasn't working on my own bikes, I wouldn't care as much. That too, maybe that would factor in. But like, I can work on like my shovel head and stuff. Like, I don't need to get someone else to work on it for me. Even my Dyna, like, they're old enough that I can work on them myself. So that's kind of my thing. I want to read you guys' comments for a second. So 2001 Fat Boy with 31,000 kilometers on it. Do you have a 2001 Fat Boy, Jerry? Chip's not into the new bikes. I know that already. I guess he rides a shovel head. Less plastic on the old bikes, that's true. But I guess, like, I don't know, they did start coming out with like Deckers and stuff like that even in the 80s. Or like the FX, like the FXR tour, like touring one. Like, I don't know a whole lot even about like the old I don't even really know a whole lot about like the old touring models, but they did have like their fair share of plastic too. And like, I was, Yeah, so I have definitely ridden like new bikes myself, and I did go on the back of a C. I was offered to ride actually a CVO Road Glide in Florida, which I should have ridden it, and I will probably next time. But I've been on the back of one, and they like, I definitely can see the like the appeal, because they do have like the new bikes. They do just have so much. They have so like their throttle response is like right there. They've got so much torque, and because they are so smooth, it's like you can be going like $140 and not really even know. Like you can't really even tell that you're going that fast. I remember it was like that on my Dyna. Like just the comparing my Dyna, my 94 FX DWG to my 1983 custom FX shovelhead is like, when I got on my Dyna, I like actually felt like that was like the first moment where, and my Dyna's not even that new, but that was like the first moment where I was like, I can see where people started calling Harleys like the Cadillac of motorcycle. And it's probably maybe for a lot of different reasons, but like my Dyna, I felt like in comparison to my shovelhead they'd feel like a Cadillac. And then I remember like the first time I took it on the highway, I was just like blasting down the highway and didn't even realize like how fast I was going. But because it felt so smooth compared to my shovelhead, and like if I'm going that fast on my shovelhead, it's like the whole thing is just like shaking. And yeah, it's but I can definitely see the appeal. The Verge electric hubless? No. Hub? What are you saying? No, I have not. Hubless? No. Minimal electronics and no touch screens. Yeah, like, I'm not against new bikes, guys. Like, I definitely can see the appeal. I'm like the same. I like to minimal electronics, like minimal, like, just keep it simple. Keeping it simple makes it so easy to maintain and work on yourself. New bikes have a lot of performance out of the box, but they don't have a soul. That's the thing too, is like, yeah, they do. They're fun. They do have a lot of performance and stuff like that. But there's no, like, I don't know, like, I guess like, even if you would have walked into a showroom, even in the 80s, it's like you still would have walked, and then people probably felt the same way about bikes like back then. It's like you would have walked into a dealership full of a bunch of bikes that looked exactly the same. But it's like now those bikes are all like 30, 40, 50, whatever years old, 60 years old. And they have just had, like, they've had the time to like grow character, and like there's not very many stock Harleys from like the 60s and 70s that you see anymore, right? Like pretty much everything's been modified from back then. Like most things have been modified or customized in some way. So it's really is hard to compare like a new bike to an old bike too, in that sense, because like when I go into a showroom, I'm just like, man, everything I'm looking at is the same. Like there's nothing in here that's like blowing my mind or anything. Like, yeah, I can look at someone like with a 135-inch engine in it and think like that's going to be a lot of fun. Or I can look at something like the Pan America that has like so light with like a crazy amount of horsepower for how much it weighs and stuff, and think like, and realize that would be a lot of fun. But I don't have any desire to spend that much money on something that's just, I don't know, that I would probably want to change a bunch of stuff on anyways. But if I was just riding a bike and didn't care what it looked like, it would be nice and convenient to have something like brand new. And yeah, Evo motors do last forever. That's like, and they're simple. Like they're the last of the Harley engines that just kind of were just simple to work on. Hello, sick bastard. Old for short rides. Okay, guys, I'm like really behind in the chat right now because I'm talking. The more I talk, the less I read your comments. So if anyone has said anything that they want me to like comment on, or if they've asked a question or anything like that, just repeat it in the chat. because it's so hard. It's hard to like go back and try to read all that stuff. Playing pimp on a good stereo has its place. Right time, wrong situation. Yeah. I don't know, like that. I guess that could be like another question is, oh, the old Aramacci. That's like the old Harley. That was like the old Italian made little tiny Harley, isn't it, Chip? Yeah, this Harley Sprint, Jerry. They're just like a little, they're like a Harley, like a little dual sport, like Harley. So that could be like another question. It's like how many people like music when they're riding? Like I know people like a lot of new bikes have, every new bike just about like Decker has stereo system on it. I know people who will like buy, or I've seen people who will buy like the little speakers you can put on the front of your bike when you're riding, which seems kind of like I'm not into that. It's like if I'm going to listen to music, I want it to be good. I want the music to sound good. So like, yeah, music on a Decker, like the new Harley Deckers have like really nice stereo systems. But like how many people prefer to have music when you're riding? One thing I definitely do not agree with, a properly built dirtster. Yeah. One thing I do not agree with is like I would definitely not like listening to music on my shovel head would be like a no go for me. Like my shovel head's loud enough on its own and I like the way it sounds. Plus it's like I like to be able to hear if anything is suddenly sounding different when I'm on my shovel head or whatever. I've never been riding my motorcycle and felt like I could really use some music right now. I've never felt that way while riding, even on longer road trips. One thing I definitely don't agree with, though, and I've known people who do this. I need to have a drink of my wine. And I've definitely known people who do this, is they will put like headphones in and then a full face helmet, which will like, and they'll ride with headphones with music in them. To me, that seems like, that just seems dangerous to me. Like at least when you have like your speakers like on like a stereo system, like on a road glide or street glide or something like that, you have like the music is like you can still kind of hear everything that's going on around you. But if you like headphones in your ears with like even with a full face helmet on too, there's just I feel like you're drowning out like way too much of what's going on around you, like the sounds of your surroundings and stuff like that. That would make me uneasy to ride with headphones in. It's like then you just like I want to be able to hear what's going on around me. Like if someone starts honking their horn, like if I would have had music in when I was riding on Ruby says I want to hear my bike, not music. Right tool for the job, music or not, depends on the situation and the bike. Yeah, it definitely depends on the bike and the situation for sure. Like I could see like music. Yeah, like like if you're on like a touring bike and you're going on a long road trip and you're just like, you're just riding a lot of like long highway roads, I could definitely like see having music would be nice. Joseph says it depends on the ride. When I'm trying to get somewhere, blast music, put your head down and 8 miles. Otherwise, no music. Yeah, like I could definitely see that. Never thought you'd care about music on a ride till you had your gold wing. Sometimes you'll send it into my helmet on the KLR on a long trip. Tune into traffic. Music with the speakers in a helmet and also earplugs in. Really? Yeah, I wouldn't I feel like, I'll ride with earplugs to keep the wind out of my ears, but I get those ones that they only cancel out like the noise of the wind, and you can still hear like the talking and stuff like that on. And it actually makes so you can hear your bike a lot better too, because you get the wind noise out of your ears. As long as you can still hear your engine, yeah, definitely. I knew a girl once that didn't like music on bikes, but one made me sit for 10 minutes outside of a Halloween Express creating a bike. Gma, hi Gma, I have a full face and a cardo setup when I tour and need tunes when in town. Okay. Yeah, like when the bike sounds good, I don't know, it's like I like to listen to the bike. But I mean, I definitely like can appreciate like a good stereo system on a good like on a road glide or something like that, or on a CVO. I'm drinking different wine. I don't know. It's not as good as the last one I had. Hello, Bagger Nut. So okay, so here's an example. Straight pipe, so it's kind of loud. Yeah. So if I like the headphones thing kind of trips me out a little bit. Like when people ride with headphones in, I feel like, because I know how much just having headphones in and being like in my house, how much that makes it so I'm just unaware. I can't hear what's going on around me. I can't hear what people are saying. You know, I can't hear if like someone's knocking on my door. So that's where it would make me uneasy, having headphones in on the road, like riding, even on the highway. But there's one time when I had been riding. I had gone out on my shovel head. It was the evening. It was like summer in the evening, and I'd gone out right before the sun had gone down. So it was still sunny out when I had gone out, and I wasn't planning on being gone for long. Like I probably had an hour of sunlight left. I wasn't planning on being gone for long. So I ended up I was living in Penticton at the time. So I ended up doing a bunch of back roads, and then I like went out of town, and then I like came back, and then I was just going to go home, and it was dark out by the time I got back into town. And I decided to do like one last little rip up the bypass. So I'm like ripping up the bypass, and I had sunglasses on because I left when it was dark, when it was still like sunny out. And normally if I plan to be coming back after dark, I'll keep a pair of like yellow lenses in my shirt so I can just swap them out. But I just had my sunglasses on, and they weren't super dark sunglasses, but they were dark enough. And I was like ripping up the bypass, just about to go home in Penticton. And I remember I was just like coming up to this intersection, and there was not very much traffic, but there was like two cars like in the right. There was like two. It was a 4-lane highway, so there was two cars on the right side. Stopped. I moved into the left lane to get past the cars. But the light was green, and had been green. Like I could see that it had been green for a while, like as I was coming at it. And then there was like cars. I don't know if it was green for me. And then there was cars on the cross street, and nobody was moving. And I was just like thinking to myself, like, okay, like this light didn't just go green. Like, what is everyone doing? And then as I'm coming closer to the intersection, because of my sunglasses on, I can't see very well, but I could see well enough. I could see the cars and stuff. But I'm like coming up to the intersection, and the intersection's all lit up because there's street lights. And then I can just hear, like, my bike's loud. I've got like the wind in my ears, but I can hear people honking. And I was just like, what are these people honking for? So I slowed down when I hear the honking. And it was the people in like the cross street honking at me because they saw me coming, and I was just about to like blast through this intersection. I'd slowed down because of everything that was going on around me, the honking and like the people stopped and everything like that. But I got into the intersection, and I got right past like the white line going into the intersection. And then I noted, and that's kind of when I was like right at the intersection when I could really hear the cars honking. And when I get into the intersection, it's like all happening so quickly. And I start like, and then I notice there's like a 8-point buck, like right in the middle of the intersection, right about to step like right into my path. And when I noticed it, and I only noticed it, I think, because for the most part, because I could hear the people honking, it made me realize that there was something going on. So I'm like, from me, you can't see how far my wall is right now, but like 10 feet. And the buck is like 10 feet, maybe not even, like 8 feet in front of me when I noticed him. And I was going fast enough, like I'm going highway, like speed of the bypass, 70 kilometers an hour at least. I was probably going a little faster than I should have been, but I like noticed this buck like when he's like 8 feet in front of me, and I'm like, okay, I do not have. I knew, like in my mind, this is the thoughts. I was like, I can't stop. Like I'm not stopping in time. Like 8 feet is not enough space to stop. So I like brake as hard as I can without locking up my brakes, and the deer, luckily, he saw me probably before I saw him, and I saw him like take a step backwards, so like step right out of my path, and I counter steered at the same time, so I missed him probably by like 3 or 4 feet or something like that, and I almost freaking had a heart attack. Because I was like, for sure, I was like, in my mind, I was done. My bike was done. Like, I was done riding for a while, if not forever. And anyways, I made it like, I didn't die, thankfully. But if I would have had headphones in and been listening to music, I probably would have hit that deer, because I wouldn't have heard all the cars and stuff honking around me. I noticed that everyone wasn't really going at the light, but it took me like enough time to process that, I guess, because I didn't have a whole lot of distance. I think the light had just turned green as I was coming up to it, and I was just like, why is it taking everyone so long to go? But it's Penticton and everyone's retired, and sometimes everyone just takes a long time. They all wait on green lights for some reason. But so yeah, anyways, that's my story of like that's one example of like why like I don't feel safe with headphones in on a bike. Might have used 6 of my 7 lives. I haven't used any of my lives yet. I've only broken a few bones. That doesn't count. I haven't been hospitalized for any extended periods of time, so I'm pretty sure I've still got all 7 of my lives. Thank you. But knowing me, well, who knows? Aim for the ass end of the deer. Yeah. Well, I'm like just kind of aiming for none part of the deer. Like I don't want the front end, the ass end, or the middle. I don't want none of that. like no. No thanks. Missed 2 deer within inches, doing 50 kilometers an hour. Yeah, and like the deer in Penticton, guys, why are Canadians so tired? Tom Green looks like he was born tired. Do I look tired? Okay, I am tired. Well, I'm sorry. We could just have Red Ryder nap time. Could have just scheduled that. That would have been good. Totally lost my train of thought. Canadians are tired of the cold. That's why. That's what's going on here. Coming off the bike like a steer wrestler. Yeah. I totally lost my train of thought now. Clean the shorts time. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it was a pretty scary moment. I've had a few moments like that where in my mind I was like, this is it. This is my big accident. Like I took it too far. Pushed the limit a little bit too far this time. Yeah, I'm tired of the cold too. See, at least we can all have that in common. Well, I mean, not all of us. Some of you guys don't have it cold. speakers in the FFH is not the same as earphones. It's not as good. Is it not as good? Angel has had her blonde. I have had my blonde moments for sure. I have enough blonde streaks though that it's I think I can use it as an excuse. All the big C's are, I don't get that. What was I saying? Can somebody remind me? I don't remember what I was saying. Shoot. Oh, right. Yeah. One other like close call I had on a bike. This was on a new bike actually too. Good morning, Cornelius. Richard, oh, it's better. Earphones are better than the speakers. Earphones just, they have always made me feel that way. Like no matter what, like even if I'm driving in my car, like if I'm on like a phone call or something and I have an earphone, like I'll put one earphone in, but I just, yeah, they make me feel uneasy. You always ask. No fog. It gets super foggy here. Okay, another moment that I had where I was like, I'm done for. Like one of those, your life, I don't know if anyone actually gets that life flashing before your eyes kind of moment, like, and everything you ever did wrong kind of. I don't think that stuff happens when you're about to crash a motorcycle or in the middle of getting in a car accident, not from my experience anyways. But you do, in my mind, think of all of the things that are happening and in that moment, which there's a scientific explanation for why that happens. And I've read about it before, but I can't remember it well enough to explain it right now. But it just has something to do with the way that your brain reacts to like the stress of the situation and stuff. But anyways, I was, hey, Bruce, I've got an 83 by 282, 81. Yeah. Crazy, right? 3 of them are rubber mount 5 speeds. Nice. Good to see. Oh, good to see you too. Yeah, I am. You've got an 83, an 82, 81, and a 70. So you have 4 shovel heads? Or, okay. That's cool. Why do deer bow when you pass them? Is Jerry about to tell a joke? And time slows down. What's up with that? It's not even, yeah, like it's so, I wish I could remember what actually is happening in your brain when it seems like you're like when you feel like you're having like so many thoughts that it doesn't even feel real. But okay, so another moment, I'm just reading your guys' comments and I'm interested in seeing what the punchline is for Jerry's joke. If it does have a punchline. Okay. So another moment. Racing thoughts. Angel. Okay, I feel like I'm lost, guys. I'm too tired for. Okay, guys. Another. I'm just reading your guys' comments, and I'm puzzled. Anyways, okay. So another moment I had with another moment I had with where like I thought I was done for. I was riding. I used to go on these group rides when I worked at Harley in Kelowna, and I didn't have my racing thoughts is a medical term for many thoughts in your head that you cannot articulate. Right. Okay, Jima. Yeah, but I mean, there's a scientific, like I've read about the the process, like what's happening in your brain. It's like a chemical reaction type thing or whatever. When you end up having all of these thoughts, I just can't remember it well enough to explain it right now. No animal stands tall in the presence of zeros. Okay, I get it. Oh man. Okay. Oh my gosh. Okay, I'm having a real hard time keeping to my train of thought. You always wanted a motorcycle, but your mom said no? Oh my gosh. I feel like you just need to secretly get one. That's when you get one, you park it at your friend's house. You're like, Mom, I'm leaving early for work or school or whatever it is. Then she thinks you're super responsible too on top of that. And then you go park your car or walk to or take the bus, whatever, to your friend's house where your motorcycle is. And then you take that to wherever you need to go. And there you go, problem solved. I don't ever do anything like that, but I was always encouraged to have motorcycles. So a lover of old iron. Your baby's a 75 iron head. Your everyday ride is 31-year-old fat boy, right? I know, my Dinah is 31 years old. Yeah, I've got a 94 Dinah. So even that is old. Would you call a deer with no eyes? No eye deer. Would you call a deer with no eyes and no legs? Still no eye deer. What do you call a deer with no eyes, no legs, and no balls? Still no effing eye deer. Dude. That would be so much worse to have a Canadian mom where no would last forever. Oh my gosh, yeah. And when you're really bad, she hangs you by the moose mount in the living room, by the moose horns in the living room. Yeah, that's what Canadian moms do. That's detention for the Canadian kids when they're being bad. They get hung off a moose mount. Trophy moose. Man, okay, I want more jokes. Stupid jokes. Dad jokes. I can't think of any jokes right now that are YouTube appropriate. Can I? No, I can't. I'll try and think of something. Okay, my moment where, another moment I had where I thought that I was going to like be crippled or end up in the hospital on a motorcycle. I was on this group ride. The Harley dealership I worked at in Kelowna used to do these weekly group rides. It was their Thursday night rides. And that summer that I worked there, my shovel head was apart. It was in someone else's shop getting the top end redone. So it was down there. And but my service manager, she would always, and the sales manager, they would always offer me like a new bike to ride for these. They always wanted me to go on these rides with them, these group rides, which I only went on a few because everyone in there was all trying to, they were all like not a lot of good riders. Anyways, I went on this one and we went to this place called Turtle Bay. And there was like this road, this little back road we were going down. It was like a windy kind of back road, and it was like a residential area. But all these guys on their bikes were speeding down this road, and I'm just like in the group on a new Sportster. I was riding that year, or like the year earlier, Sportster, one of the irons, and I was trying to keep up with this group because I didn't know where I was going. And I guess I could have just pulled over and like checked my phone or whatever. And but I was trying to keep up with this group, and I'm like hitting this corner. It's like a left corner, and I'm on the outside because there's someone riding the line already. So I'm on the outside of the lane. And I go to take this corner, and it was just way tighter a corner than I was prepared for the speed that I was going. And I just remember like my front wheel like getting, it was like inches away from all the gravel and stuff that had been tossed up on the shoulder of the road there. So you had like 12 or 18 or 12 inches or something like that of all this gravel on the shoulder or on the edge of the concrete. And then you have the gravel shoulder, which was basically just a slope going into a ditch. And I like was like 3 inches away from getting my front wheel in this gravel, trying to take this corner. And I remember thinking in my head, like, I am hitting this side